place, Central Airport. The time, 8:32 p.m. Field conditions, normal. Flight number 507, carrying a full payload of passengers, is 17 minutes early. Among the passengers are 2 doctors, a minister of God, an airline executive, and this man. His name, David Edward Morgan. His business, murder.
Hey, how was the trip?
Good.
Everything's arranged. I got your room at the Gaylord.
For Philadelphia and intermediate cities.
This story did not take place in your city. It might. The police force you're about to see does not exist. It should. Perhaps one day it will. This is the story of one man, dedicated, incorruptible, convinced that crime can be controlled. The time, 8:40 p.m. 80 miles to the north in the state capital, a subcommittee on local law enforcement stands adjourned.
Oh, Colonel Dawson. Congratulations, Colonel. Your arguments against my bill were convincing enough to have a table.
Your bill would set up a 5-man crime commission that would take over responsibility now being held by the police department heads. I can't see that that's a step forward. To me, it's a step backward.
But Mr. Todd's bill will merely relieve you of the pressures of total responsibility. Now, would police work suffer so much if you shared responsibility?
Mr. Bartlett, suppose you were the manager of a baseball team. Your pitcher was tiring badly. What would you do?
Take him out in a hurry.
Suppose you had to check with the 5-man advisory committee first.
In your analogy, you make yourself the manager. In my opinion, the commission should be the manager. You the catcher. Then it's your job to know when the pitcher is tired and to warn the manager.
We're entitled to our opinions, sir. So I still consider myself the manager. Perhaps a better manager than your commission. Because I'm in the ballpark where the games are being played. While your commission would be here in the Capitol. And just as experience in baseball convinces me that a team with an absentee manager could never get out of the cellar. Experience in police work convinces me that your commission idea will fail in law enforcement.
But, Colonel, you know, Mr. Todd also has some experience in organized crime.
Yes, I'm aware of that, Mr. Bartlett. And I admired your work as Chief Counsel for the United States Crime Commission. But you're asking me to forget everything I've ever learned. I'm afraid I can't go along with you.
We'll see, Colonel. But I still intend to present this bill at every session until it passes.
Then we'll meet again, Mr. Todd, at every session.
Perhaps sooner. I expect to be in your city this weekend. I'm speaking at a rally to gain statewide support for the bill.
I'll try to be there.
Good.
I'll have to catch a plane. If you'll excuse me.
Of course.
Of course, Colonel.
Good night, gentlemen.
Everything's on schedule. I'm at the Gaylord Hotel with Roy Lewis. Dawson? What about Dawson?
Due back tonight.
He's due back from the state capitol tonight. You can advise the board that the project is progressing exactly as planned. Once the Todd affair is taken care of, Dawson is automatically out of the picture here. Well, I estimate the delivery of necessary equipment can be made next month. Right, Mr. G? Fine. Good night.
Was that the big man himself you were talking to?
That was him. Start bringing in your roulette wheels. They'll be in operation by the end of the month.
So the committee decided to go along with my recommendation until next session. How have things been here?
Very quiet, Colonel. Until last night, when we got a shiny new visitor. Dave Morgan.
Dave Morgan. I thought he was in Leavenworth.
He was released a couple of weeks ago.
3 days later, the syndicate held a meeting. Morgan was a guest of honor. Looks like the mob's chief executioner is back in business.
When did you say you got in?
Last night, by plane?
Private plane.
No, commercial.
Commercial? A known killer for a syndicate openly coming into town.
Figures life using his own name. Roy Lewis met him at the airport and took him to the Gaylord Hotel.
Who's he after?
Well, we checked in town and with Chicago. The rumble is that Morgan's after somebody pretty big. Someone who caused a lot of trouble for 3 top men in the syndicate.
They say 2 birds will be bumped with 1 slug.
Arnold Todd sent up Joe Maxey, Lou Shell, and Charlie Casey when he was chief counsel for the Senate Crime Commission.
We thought of that, sir, but Morgan's here. Todd's up at the Capitol.
Now. He'll be here at the end of the week. Main speaker at a big rally, supporting his bill. Get me Arnold Todd at the state capitol.
Mr. Todd's office. It's Dawson.
Yes, Colonel.
Mr. Todd, we've heard that the syndicate has marked somebody big for a killing. We think it could be you.
I can't consider every unfounded rumor a threat on my life.
This is considerably more than an unfounded rumor. So much so that I'd like you to consider postponing your trip here until we're absolutely certain you'll be safe.
It's out of the question. Everything's been arranged. I promised to put myself entirely in your hands once I reach your